The greatest wealth is to live content with little. Wisdom alone is the science of other sciences. Human behavior flows from three main sources: desire, emotion, and knowledge. The first and greatest victory is to conquer yourself. Good actions give strength to ourselves and inspire good actions in others. Courage is knowing what not to fear. Thinking, the talking of the soul with itself. Excellence is not a gift, but a skill that takes practice. The direction in which education starts a man will determine his future in life. We can easily forgive a child who is afraid of the dark. The real tragedy of life is when men are afraid of the light. Do not train a child to learn by force or harshness, but direct them to it by what amuses their minds, so that you may be better able to discover with accuracy the peculiar bent of the genius of each. He who is not a good servant will not be a good master. Ignorance, the root and stem of all evil. He who commits injustice is ever made more wretched than he who suffers it. Knowledge becomes evil if the aim be not virtuous. The beginning is the most important part of the work. An empty vessel makes the loudest sound, so they that have the least wit are the greatest babblers. The measure of a man is what he does with power. Those who tell the stories rule society. The unexamined life is not worth living. There are three classes of men: lovers of wisdom, lovers of honor, and lovers of gain. The greatest privilege of a human life is to become a midwife to the awakening of the soul in another person. A good decision is based on knowledge and not on numbers. We are twice armed if we fight with faith. He who wishes to serve his country must have not only the power to think, but the will to act. The greatest penalty of evil-doing is to grow into the likeness of a bad man. The soul takes nothing with her to the next world but her education and her culture. Truth is the beginning of every good to the gods and of every good to man. He who steals a little steals with the same wish as he who steals much, but with less power. Wealth and poverty, one is the parent of luxury and indolence, and the other of meanness and viciousness, and both of discontent. The punishment which the wise suffer who refuse to take part in the government is to live under the government of worse men. Justice means minding your own business and not meddling with other men's concerns. He who learns must suffer. And even in our sleep, pain that cannot forget falls drop by drop upon the heart, and in our own despair, against our will, comes wisdom to us by the awful grace of God. Good people do not need laws to tell them to act responsibly, while bad people will find a way around the laws. The price good men pay for indifference to public affairs is to be ruled by evil men. The madness of love is the greatest of heaven's blessings. He who is not a good servant will not be a good master. The beginning is the most important part of the work. False words are not only evil in themselves, but they infect the soul with evil. The soul takes nothing with her to the next world but her education and her culture. The unexamined life is not worth living. The greatest wealth is to live content with little. Knowledge without justice ought to be called cunning rather than wisdom. Wealth and poverty, one is the parent of luxury and indolence, and the other of meanness and viciousness, and both of discontent. Courage is knowing what not to fear. Wisdom alone is the science of other sciences. The direction in which education starts, a man will determine his future in life. There are three classes of men: lovers of wisdom, lovers of honor, and lovers of gain. We are twice armed if we fight with faith. The soul takes nothing with her to the next world but her education and her culture.